Hey folks, Mobile Geezer out here again. This time with a quick camera comparison between the iPhone 12 Pro and the iPhone 11. So starting on the front-facing cameras, 1080p, 30 frames per second. We'll turn them around and see how things go. So here we are on the rear-facing cameras, still 30 frames per second, 1080p. Walk a little bit. You guys tell me what the stabilization is like. I would think they'd be pretty close here, but we'll see. It's a very overcast, very cloudy day. A little on the cold side, but I want to get out here and get this done before the rain comes. Well, as usual, we'll start off with our focus test on a tree. Here we go. Now we'll walk over, get on the path. And first we'll take a quick look at the brook. Sure, when the rain comes in a few hours, this is going to change drastically. Alright, now we're on solid ground. We can test our stability. Let's run a little bit. Take a quick look at the creek. Pan around a little bit. Try a little zooming in. 6x zoom on the iPhone 12 Pro. It's 3x zoom on the iPhone 11, which is all it will do. So we'll bring back the iPhone 12 Pro a little bit. There's 3x zoom on both. I like it on the iPhone 12 Pro much better. Seems clearer too looking at the screens. Zoom back out. And we're going to take these over by the pond and see what the ducks are doing. And we'll be changing to 1080p 60 frames per second. So here we are at 1080p 60 frames per second. And around a little bit, get a little duck action going here. And we'll try zooming in again. There's 6x zoom on the iPhone 12 Pro. And there's 3x zoom once again on the iPhone 11. So we'll pull the Pro back to 3x. And there they both are at 3x zoom. Zoom back out. And then we'll try a little shooting in 4K. Okay, now we're shooting at 4K, 24 frames per second. All the ducks are coming up on the path, or most of them anyway. A little more painting around. Sorry about the traffic noise. I'm right under the street here. Now we'll go to 4K at 30 frames per second. So here's 4K at 30 frames per second. Let's try zooming in again. Still only 3 times zoom on the iPhone 11 as opposed to 6 on the iPhone 12 Pro. So there's 3 times zoom on both. And we'll zoom back out. And now we'll try 4K at 60. And here we are at 4K 60 frames per second. And that's what that looks like. And I'm going to take a few photos and we'll be done for today. Okay folks, that's it for today, and we're back on the front facing cameras, this time shooting at 1080p 60 frames per second. So you get a quick look at that. So we did some 4K at 24, 30 and 60 frames per second, and did some 1080p. And so I think you've seen everything. I took a few photos. I'll go home and get this edited. And as always, comments are welcome. Thanks for watching.